This is The Girl He Chose, a Paige King mystery, Book 2, written by Blake Pierce, narrated by Susannah Resnikoff. Chapter 1. Marta was fixing a faucet when she heard the noise. She liked to think of herself as a personal assistant. That is what it said on her contract, and it was probably how Mrs. Estrom would have described her if she'd had cause to do so in company. That was the respectable term, the one that didn't make Mrs. Estrom feel like an old woman. Marta knew the truth of it, though. Most of the time, she was a glorified janitor and housekeeper. She cooked, she cleaned, she saw to the house and made sure that Mrs. Estrom had everything she needed in order to get on with her days without thinking about anything mundane. The formidable matriarch of the extended Estrom family had far better things to do with her time, spending it on everything from seeing important political figures to organizing elegant soirees. Right now, she was asleep. Mrs. Estrom liked to go to bed at precisely 10:30 and to be woken at 7. Marta found that arrangement usually gave her at least an hour or so to herself, although in this case she was using part of that hour to try to effect repairs to a dripping faucet in the kitchen. Mrs. Estrom could afford to get a plumber in to replace it 1,000 times over, but Marta had quickly found that for small things, her employer really didn't see the point of bringing in specialists. Probably because Mrs. Estrom wasn't the one having to do the work. There was a lot of work when it came to the crumbling old house that had been the Estrom family's home for generations, back since great-great-grandpa Estrom had first made his money on the stock market. It was huge and twisting, big enough that back in the day it probably had a small army of staff to maintain it. These days there were still staff, but they only came in periodically to do what was needed, and Marta was the one who had to arrange it when they did, making the calls, organizing the schedules. Certainly, when major repairs were needed, Marta had to stand there in her hard hat overseeing any contractors. The rest of the time, it was just her, seeing to any problems that arose. When she'd taken the job, she'd assumed that she would need to know about schedule management and talking to important people, basic first aid in case Mrs. Estrom's medical conditions got out of hand, and the ability to coordinate with her various business interests, not about the inner workings of butterfly valves or minor electrical repairs, which all sounded as if Marta was complaining, but honestly she found that she loved her job. Mrs. Estrom was about
Sample complete. Ready to continue?